Good morning. Happy Thursday. I hope everyone's having a great morning this morning. I am tired. I've gotten basically no sleep. So, yes, but we're here. So, I've only taken one trade this morning. It was a loss, as you can see. Really isn't a trade I should have taken. You can see right here. I was really chancing it, taking the buy off of the top of the major resistance level. Mainly because I know these accounts are not going to they're not going to last past Friday anyway. So I was just like, I'm going to be mad if it wins. If it loses, I'm cool. So I just went ahead and I took the trade, and you can see I got wicked out, and then it went straight in my direction. So that's an L I was willing to take. I told you guys yesterday that for a couple of weeks now, I haven't been taking any trades that touch the major support and resistance level. However, I think that I can. But I just think with that particular trade, it was a little, I don't know. Also, before 9 a.m. high impact news, I typically stop trading altogether at 8:53 in the morning, and this happened at 8:54. So that could also be a thing. Um, yeah, I don't know, but we'll see. So let's just see what the rest of the day brings. This high impact news is not so high impact, to me at least. So we'll see what happens. Good morning, Rio. Good morning, good morning. But yeah, I'm feeling really good about today, so let's just see what happens. But like I said, I'm pretty sure that that loss that I just took, we're just gonna chalk that up to high impact news was coming. But based on my back test, I can kind of push it a little bit more before high impact news, but we'll see. It's not that big of a deal, honestly, for me. So we'll just kind of see what happens, because I might just go back to no trades within 7 minutes of high impact news, and we'll just leave it there. So, but we will see. But yeah, when I tell you I'm extremely tired, I legit dozed off for like not even probably an hour, and then I got a phone call at like 2 something this morning, and I did not get off the phone until 7 and had to wake right back up at 8. So tired is kind of an understatement. It's kind of an understatement. But part of me was like, I'm not going to trade today. I'll just wake up at some point and just blow that 50K that needs to blow for the renewal on Monday. Yes, ma'am. So part of me said that, but then I was like, no, I need to get up because I need the repetition. I need to just trade. I can always go back to sleep after this 2.5 hours. So that's why I'm here. But yeah, I'm really curious to see like if this is really only. I feel like I'm going to go back to taking trades at the major support and major resistance level, but I think that I'm only going to take them in the direction. So like only buys at the major support, only sells at the major resistance. I think that's what I'm going to do. Because that would take that loss away. But like I said, I knew I was going to blow one of them today and one of them next Thursday. So I was just like, let's just take the trade. Whatever happens, happens. But I can tell you guys, next week it's on, okay? No GNC trades. I'm gonna try my hardest not to miss any trades, like all of that, because I'm feeling pretty confident, especially after this week. Like with it being such a low volatility week, I'm feeling pretty good. going into next week. I'm not going to lie. All right, so we're not going to make the mistake of yesterday. We have a weak level right here, and we need the full pullback in order for this trade to be valid. So that caused one of my losses. Not paying attention. But I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens next week, because my goal is for the 25K that's coming back next Monday. My goal is to pass it next week. Goal is to pass it next week, because at this point the foundation is laid. There's no more foundational changes that need to be made to my strategy at all. I don't even really see, I think I only have like one question mark left on my cheat sheet. So we're like here at this point. And the fact that I was not super negative this week, I was only down 117 per account Monday, 120 per account Tuesday. What was it, 20 something dollar? No, I think it was like almost $30 per account yesterday. In this market this week, I'll take it. Monday and Tuesday, and even yesterday there was one little tiny adjustment that I made based off of a loss that I took yesterday. I went back and I back tested all the trades so far in my data from me actually taking trades, and from the back test that I did, and also from writing down all the trades that I missed each day. So with all of those weeks of data so far, I just wrote down every time that happened within that data set, and I was like, here's a thing. And it just happens like that sometimes, where you just think that you went through the data a certain way. You think that you want your rules to be a certain way, but then after you reevaluate, it's like, ooh, this one is too restrictive, or this one isn't restrictive enough. And for that particular one, I was just a little bit off with the restrictions, just a tiny bit. So I believe yesterday all three of the losses could be mitigated. One was just invalid, and I don't even know why I got into it. And then the other two, it just adjusted the rules a little bit based on yesterday and previous data. So let's see what happens next week. Hopefully we get the volume and volatility, the real stuff, to return next week. That would be nice. But we'll see. Alright, let me go around really quick. All right, I'm just looking for the next pullback here. It's so crazy because this zone I drew based off of the bias changing from a downtrend to an uptrend, and you can see that we would be changing back to a downtrend around the same area. That lets me know that we are not really moving very much. Like, we have a pretty decent range basically. So the account that I need to blow by the end of this session, it has about $481 left in it. So hopefully I should be able to. It's much easier to purposely blow a 50K versus a 25. Because with the 25, especially if you have too much drawdown left and you put those 4 contracts on and you just accidentally get the direction wrong, then you have a pass eval. But to full port 10 contracts, it's very easy to lose 400 bucks that way. So that's what I'll be trying to do once the session ends. Not much. Just kind of created the new high up there. I'm gonna zoom out for now since I'm not taking any trades. But just so you can see kind of the overall structure of what we're looking at here. I think that's enough. So we've definitely switched trends for now. Let's see what happens. What is the... I'm gonna be so mad if I can't fall back asleep when I get off the stream. See, the daily candle is about 340 ticks. It's not a lot. It's not what I wanted to do. All right, I definitely cannot take the first sale here. Because we created a new bias down here, but if you look, this swing was started with a higher high. So anytime we change biases, and it'll be higher high to lower low to lower high, or vice versa for an uptrend, I can't take that first pullback, because we're basically creating a new minor and major trend at the same time. Whoopsies. Sorry. So we're not going to take that trade. And like trades like this, I can't even I wouldn't even reevaluate and say, oh my gosh, it won. Like in my back test, it didn't, because the reality is I wouldn't have even gotten filled on it anyway. As soon as that bar closed, it just took off. There was no retracement at all. Use the Renko for a little buy or sell on the pullbacks. That's basically how I use it, Husk. I do have you tapped, just so you know. I just don't have headphones to be able to listen to people while I stream. But I do have you tabbed, and I will be tuning in after my stream is over so I can listen in, but I will be falling asleep because I am tired. I'm working off an hour of sleep here. I'm so tired. But yeah, I feel like what I go for is pretty small. I mean, 4.5 points is not a lot. Not a lot at all. All right, no sale here, of course, because we're going back towards the VWAP. So we'll just look for the next buy, really. Maybe. Depends on how far up it goes. Right now, we are back in the overnight range, which is only 15 points, not even 15, really 14 points. Not a lot at all. which, like I said before, when that overnight range is super tight like that, I can almost always expect that we're not gonna have much movement. And then we just really haven't had much movement since sometime last week. Open 90.25. Question is, if I get this pullback down and I'm able to go back up, the question, well, now we don't have that question. It's 9:15. Guess time is kind of going by a little fast. Maybe because I want to go to sleep so bad. Maybe my mind is playing tricks on me. I'm actually going to Good morning, Trenches. How are you? How art thou? Alright, I turned the music up a little bit because I know myself. I'm going to probably start getting a little bit quiet because I'm so sleepy. So, I did go ahead and turn the music up just a bit. Yeah. Hold, please. Good morning, DK England. How are you this morning? Welcome to the stream. So, since you guys are just tuning in, I've only taken one trade. It was before I got on the charts. It was a risky trade. I went ahead and I just chanced it. It's not something I would normally take, but I told you guys earlier this week that I am going to start taking trades at the major support and resistance levels again. Because I think that now I can. However, I did take a buy that, sorry guys, I'm still here. I pushed the wrong button. But I did take a buy off of the major resistance right here. I'm going to still take trades at the major support and resistance, but only like sales at the resistance, buy at the support. But I didn't care about chancing that because I'm trying to fail these accounts. So one of them I'm gonna fail after the session today. The other one will be by like next Thursday. So I wasn't too, it was one of those like, let's just see if it works out kind of things. But yeah, I am gonna start back taking trades there, just only in the direction of the level, because I can take like sales at the regular support levels, right? But I don't think that I can do it at the two major ones. So we'll see. Good morning, True Seeker. How are you this morning? And good luck trading to you as well. But yeah, this week was not bad at all. I was even talking to my mom about it yesterday because she's been at work all week. So she only works from home like twice a week. So of course she asked me about my trading each day or whatever. And I was just telling her like, yeah, this week, for the most part over the weekend, I did finalize the foundation of the strategy, right? But I just knew little tweaks here and there, little small minor adjustments. And I told her like, even though there are certain trades that cause me to adjust my strategy just a tad, just certain rules, This week still has not yielded bad results, even despite the fact that most of my losses from this week are now mitigated with the small tweaks that I made. But I told her, I'm like, this week was not bad. Even though volatility was low, volume was low, I still had a halfway decent week. So that makes me happy. And it makes me feel like I'm just that much closer to my goal of finishing this thing on out. Which I'm pretty sure I'm pretty much at this point. I don't know where the heck did it go? Oh, it's all the way up there, that's why. Like, where did my other yellow line go? You just gave back yesterday's gains though? Well, based on the way the market's been moving so far today, do you think you'll be able to at least get some opportunities, more trades today to possibly make it back? Oh yeah, also, there's been a big discussion now in the Discord. And all of this started, we were talking about the 30% rule. I think we were talking about this yesterday or sometime this week. I don't damn know. But I was telling you guys how, like, you know, my trading buddy was denied for a payout because they told him that they go based off of his balance on the day that they review the account to approve it or deny it, not the day the trading request date or the payout request date. It's a review date. And so someone who I will not name, someone actually found that in the Apex contract that we all sign, it specifically says that the 30% rule is based off of the balance that is in the account on the day of the request. Well, they denied him based on the balance on the day of the review, not the request. And his review took a while. Like, his review was not like a day later, 2 days later. His review took a minute. Matter of fact, let me see. We talked so much. I don't know if I'll be able to scroll far enough, but I do remember asking him. Let's see. So he told me on the 25th that it was declined. But I don't remember what day he requested. I feel like he requested on the 15th, but I could be wrong. Let me see. Yeah, I feel like he requested on the 15th. So let's just say that it took them until the 22nd. Let's just say that it's not the 25th that they did it, because I did ask on the 25th. That's 5 more trading days that he had to wait. And now y'all are basing stuff off of that. That's not okay. And now it's on the timeline, like, you guys aren't even, there's still people waiting from the 15th to the 20th now. And as much as people tell, you know, I understand, like, not chance and stuff, but if you're still over that payout threshold, and then this is the other problem. There's also inside of the PA agreement that you can't trade without a stop loss. But you're paying people out who publicly show that they don't trade with a stop loss. So we were really trying to kind of defend him and why he should have received his payout, and I still feel like they should have paid him out, and he didn't blow the count. So I feel like they should pay him out, because if you could pay out people who are, first of all, you are violating your own contract by denying him for that reason. And right now the argument is, well, we're redoing the contracts right now anyway. Well, that doesn't have anything to do with him. That has nothing to do with him. The contract that he signed that's still available at this moment, you're violating your own contract by denying his payout, because he didn't break any rules based on your contract. However, you're paying people out who are not trading with a stop loss and are publicly doing so. And even then, you could see in the trades if people have stop losses or not, for the most part. in the logs. So, and you're still paying these people out. So it's a lot of hoopla right now. And like I told him, even though they're probably still not going to pay him out, you know, sometimes you just have to be that person where something happens to you to bring forth change. Because I don't think that it's fair that they go based off of the review date. Which Discord am I in? I'm in the official Apex Discord. I'm in another Discord as well. I think I left one of them. I don't really, if it's not the Apex Discord, I don't really pay attention. And then the other Discord that I'm in is the one that I got the market structure indicator from. But yeah, there was like a huge discussion last night in private channels, in private chats, in the main chat even. And then it also makes us look bad, right? Because someone asked, I remember seeing this last night, somebody asked a question about the 30% rule, and the person who answered them was like, the person who answered said, well, I've seen 2 different answers from mods, so you should go ask support. And it's like, it makes us look bad because it makes it sound like you're getting different answers because we don't understand, when that's not the truth. You're getting different answers because the contract says one thing and the FAQ says one thing, but then support emails somebody something totally different. Well, they don't got nothing. That doesn't mean we're not knowledgeable. They just doing their own thing at this point. It's so bad. It is so bad. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Let's see. All right, we do have natural gas coming up in 3 minutes. We'll see what happens. I really just want to go back to sleep. Wait, what did he send me? Oh, Jesus, I can't see that. Oh, wait. I think he replied to support and support replied back to him. Let me open up my Discord because I cannot see that on my phone. Let's see what the discussion is. Alright, what did he say to them? Thank you for the screenshot. However, the screenshot you provided is only showing a small. Wait, what time is it? Alright. I'm not gonna look at that just yet. Alright. Now I'm going to read a screenshot because in 20 seconds I can't take trades for another few minutes. All right. However, the screenshot. So I think what he must have sent was something showing. I think he sent the screenshot from the contract showing them how the contract says at the time of withdrawal request, the balance in the account cannot consist of more than 30% of the balance being from one single trading day, but it says specifically at the time of withdrawal request. So he must have sent that to them, and they said, thank you for the screenshot. However, the screenshot you provided is only showing a small portion of the entire payout request rules. Here's a link for you to review. The account needs to maintain the necessary criteria during the entire approval process. That's why the rule indicates that when a payout is requested, the account should be managed as if the funds have already been deducted. Huh? As long as the account is managed with the assumption that the funds have already been deducted, the timing of the account review shouldn't be a concern. You can find the schedule for account reviews in the link I provided. Additionally, regarding your question, during each payout period, we encounter numerous accounts where the windfall greatly exceeded 30%. However, by the time the account was reviewed, the windfall had decreased sufficiently to meet the approval criteria. This highlights the significance of the rule I mentioned previously. That doesn't make sense. So when he sent the screenshot showing the rule inside of the agreement, his comment said basically the system now is whoever gets approved first gets their money secured early compared to all the people who are still waiting for approval. And that's the truth. Everything should be based on request date to request date. Like, you guys take a long time to review some people's accounts. And at the end of the day, when you guys reviewed his accounts, he still didn't violate anything. The only thing he violated at that point was the 30% rule because he lost like 7K that day, but he was still above the payout threshold. I just think that they need to reword stuff. If you're going to do stuff different, you need to reword it, and you need to find all the places that you have things worded a certain way, and you need to fix it because it's not fair. It's just not. And their reply to him makes literally no sense. Apparently no. Well, when we were talking about it in one of the private channels yesterday, I'm guessing the rule now, they don't care about not having stop losses. I mean, let's just be honest here. Alpine doesn't trade with stop losses, and it's not to call him out, but he doesn't trade with stop losses, and he's withdrawn over 100,000 from Apex. And he publicly does this every morning. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure that was probably a rule prior to. And sometimes, I get it. I've had several businesses before. Sometimes you have certain rules when you first start, and, as you're adding things to your agreements and stuff, you're not really going through it to remove certain things that are no longer an issue. Because I'm pretty sure he's not the only person that doesn't trade with a stop loss. You get what I'm saying? But literally it says that you can't trade without a stop loss. So I think that they just need to they've been doing a pretty decent job of going back through the FAQ and updating things and taking out a lot of the verbiage was just so redundant. That's why some of the FAQs, when you look, it's so much data on that one page, because all they did every time something was added to that particular FAQ, they just continued to add on the bottom of it instead of going through and just condensing to what's most important. Because I feel like certain rules that people don't understand, it's because there's so much. Just make it clear, concise, and condensed. You don't need all the extra. You don't. But I'm pretty sure they're going to remove that out of the PA agreement. They have to, because they've been paying people out with it. But I think that I understand that, you've been hiring a bunch of people because of the growth and everything. They definitely, March was a record month. When you guys see the numbers, I'm pretty sure Nutty Bar is going to make a video on the payouts for March. But the numbers are crazy for their payouts for March. And you could see, I think on the website, it even shows you they've paid out $50 million. What was it, in the last 90 days? Something like that. Yeah. The payouts are insane for March. So, I get it. You've had more payouts. You're hiring more people. And I get that, but I feel like everybody has to be on the same page. And the only way to be on the same page is if you have clear, concise. I'm even okay with the 30% rule not being a hard, fast rule, as they call it. I'm cool with that. However, there needs to still be clarification with certain stuff that I feel like it's not really there. And it just leaves too much room for error, really. They should hire me. Listen, I am one of those people where, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, and this is not like to toot my own horn or anything like that. Like, any place I've ever worked in, I've brought forth change, right? Because I always look at the big picture, the smaller picture. I look at the customer side of it. I'm a very unbiased person naturally, right? So there's just a lot of things that I've changed in workplaces that I've been in. All based on like experiences that I've had. Like, I told this story on my other YouTube channel that I abandoned, but this is the second to last job that I had. Been working there for a couple of years, and I believe it was after COVID happened. I remember we had a situation where they ended up buying out another facility that was like 15 minutes away, right? So when they acquired this property, same, thing, it was both mental health, stuff like that or whatever. But when they acquired this property, right, the facility I was at had a start time of 6 p.m. Your shift started at either 6 p.m. or 6 a.m. if you were a nurse. Because we did 12-hour shifts, and then the techs did 8-hour shifts. So the other place, though, didn't start until 7 a.m. Okay. So the facility that I worked for, the original facility, was the larger facility. Okay. So I remember that we had to take this class. They made us redo. So every year we had to do like crisis response, learning how to take a person down to the ground without injuring them, without having to give them shots and things like that. Like, and that's one thing that ruffles my feathers when it comes to like police brutality and stuff, and them putting knees on the back of people's on their backs and suffocating them and things like that, because it's been 5 of us women who have been able to take a big guy down to the ground, have him in a hold where he's laying on his side. He's safe. We're safe. Cool, right? But that's a whole nother story. But anyway, so in the crisis response class, we had to do an updated one because the facility I worked at, even though at any point in time these people can go off their rockers, we had less crisis responses than the other facility, because the other facility was more of an acute facility. So like they went there right after being charged with crimes for the most part, and they were awaiting trials. We dealt with people like after they were found guilty by reason of insanity or permanently incompetent to stand trial. Okay. So in the class, one of the older ladies was like, you seem to be, touching on certain things a lot. Is it because you guys have a more dangerous facility? The lady's like, oh no, you're fine. I'm like, this lady is lying. We just went through a different class, and the lady literally told us that they have, more code, I think it's code grays and stuff like that or whatever. So anyway, I ran into an issue where like the facility will always tell you that if you had to call off, you had to give a 2-hour notice. But of course, they never gave you a 2-hour notice if you were switching facilities. So I remember when we were in the second class, where it was more of a sit down, we're learning about the facility, the type of patients or clients that they have. My first question was, do y'all have the same start time as us? Everybody else is asking all these different questions. I didn't care, because I know that most healthcare facilities, you start at 7, not 6. And this one started at 6. So I was like, y'all have the same start time? She's like, yeah. I said, so y'all start at 6 o'clock? She's like, oh no, we start at 7. I said, so what's going to happen with that? I said, because if you guys are going to be pulling us to your facility to help you more, right? Don't you think we should all have the same start time? Because she was like, well, theoretically, we would be giving you a 2-hour notice. I said, baby, I don't get a 2-hour notice when I'm getting switched to a different area of the facility. I know when I come in this door, so I know god dang on well, they are not going to call me 2 hours beforehand to tell me that I'm at the other facility with an hour later start time. And sure enough, they never did. I'm waking up an hour earlier, to get to the facility I'm used to going to. And then as soon as I'm on my way to the facility, they're calling me while I'm halfway there saying, oh yeah, just so you know, you're at the other place. That starts an hour later. Well, that's not okay, because first of all, we're in a dangerous area. So I'm definitely not going to sit in the parking lot for an extra hour. I'm not going to go in there an hour early. So what are we to do here? Right. And so I ended up getting let go from that place because I got fed up. I remember one time they called me late. I went over there, and so now I got 1 hour less of sleep, right? Because of the later start time, but I woke up to go to the 6 o'clock start time. So I got 1 hour less of sleep, and I was at that place until 9 o'clock in the morning. I was supposed to get off at 7:30, but the nurse who was supposed to relieve me went to the first facility first, and they told her to pass meds over there first, and I'm like, why the hell would y'all tell her that? And why is she stupid enough to listen to y'all? So I ended up walking out. I said, y'all gonna bring somebody here, but I'm out of here. It's 9 o'clock. I'm tired, right? And so that ended up happening. And so when I ended up being let go, it was because I just got fed up with them not telling me ahead of time. So I'm like getting off the highway and they're telling me, oh, you're at the other facility. What? So I said, look, you guys are supposed to give me a 2 hour notice. I have been nothing but nice for the last 3 months, going over here with last minute notice and things like that. I cannot do this anymore, because the last time I came over here, I was here for so long. I almost fell asleep on the road getting back home because nobody came to relieve me. I was here for 2 hours extra than what I was supposed to be here for. And so they saw it as me refusing an assignment, and they let me go. And I was okay with it, right? Literally not even 2 weeks later, they ended up going back to the 7 a.m. start time facility and changing them to 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. start times. And it's like, why do you have to push someone to over the edge? Someone who helps you out all the time. Every time you've asked me to work over here, I've had no issues. Even when there was not proper training, we had people throwing chairs at windows, trying to break into the nursing pod. I mean, all kinds of crazy stuff. And I dealt with it. But what I cannot deal with is now my safety is jeopardized because of lack of sleep and me having to drive so far home with the lack of sleep because I'm not being relieved on time. I'm not getting my extra hours of sleep because you're telling me late that I'm at a later start time facility. But they changed it. Literally every single job that I've had, some kind of change came from it. And that was the only job that I was ever fired from. And I didn't even care, because you're not going to keep playing with me. My last facility, they changed a lot of stuff there for the same reason, because you have to approach things with an unbiased opinion, right? Everybody can't be happy in certain situations, but sometimes shit just got to make sense. In a lot of places, shit just don't make sense. I honestly could have taken this 1 bar pullback down. I just didn't, because I still don't really feel all the way comfortable with the 1 bar pullbacks. However, this particular version of it is probably what I'm most comfortable with, but I just didn't want to take it. But yeah, Apex is a great company. I will always give them that. But I hope that at some point in the future, at least, they come up with some kind of more automated way of the review process, because if you're going to continue to grow at the rate that you're growing right now, you have to have certain things that are much more automated than they are right now. People can still, I don't know if there are any more people that are still under review that are doing things legitimately. We can't count the people who are using bots and, stuff like that where they have to review certain stuff. But if you legit can't get all of your payout reviews done in 3 business days, you got to figure out what needs to be more automated then. Because somebody needs to protect the account and things like that, but let's be real here, you require 10 trading days, right? So you're basically requiring that somebody trades every single day. You have to if you want to secure the next payout. And yeah, like technically the payout window is a little bit more than 10 trading days. But when you add in holidays, if you add in the fact that, hey, I might have to sit out of trading this account for the next 5 days because it takes you 5 trading days to review my account, like that's not cool. Yeah, you're right, Rio. We do. We do. But the problem is so many people have different agendas, right? And this is just in any industry, in any business type, whatever. People have so many underlying agendas, and people just want to be right instead of doing what's right. And that's why people's biases allow them to make certain decisions. Like, one of the reasons why I have so many like best friends and like really close other friends that might not be my best friend, but you know, we're very, very close, is because I'm that friend that you can call about anything. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to talk about you later for it. I might make a joke here and there if it's something that can be joked about, but they know that I'm super unbiased. Like, I will tell my friends, you're wrong. But see, my friends don't call me for like, one thing that I learned years ago, right, is that people are not looking for advice. They're looking for an accomplice. Meaning, most of the time when people ask you for your advice, they're only asking you for your advice because they think that you're going to agree with them, and they want to use that as a, okay, look, I knew I was right, right? So they're not looking for your advice. They're looking for you to be an accomplice in whatever thought process that they have. Ever since I learned that years ago, I was like, dang, when I think about it, you're right. For me, I know whether my friends want a listening ear. I know if they want my unbiased opinion. And I am that friend that will tell you, nah, friend, I love you, but not on your side with this one. Or it might not even be a like pick sides thing. Sometimes it's just like, well, have you thought about it this way? Because that can be important. Sometimes maybe based on your own experiences, your own traumas, your own whatever. Sometimes you can look at things a certain way and not even have the ability to think any other way, because you're just thinking based off of what's in your head at the time and not based off of the other party and what they've dealt with, and you know, the possibilities with stuff like that. You have to be unbiased with a lot of things. It's the only way for you to bring forth change. Yeah, absolutely. All of those things just affect people and their decision making. But I just hope that they make some changes with Apex, seriously. And I really hope that one thing that they do is reduce the number of trading days. I mean, they reduced from 25 to 10, and that's great, because 25 was insane. But I still think it should be a little lower, maybe 7. I say 7 trading days, no flipping rule, so you cannot flip at all. You have to trade consistently for all 7 trading days. That would still be fair, because technically you have to do that now with 8 trading days, right? And the 7 trading days would account for it'll account for holidays, you know, and stuff like that. I think that would be nice. Like I said, I think certain processes need to be a little bit more automated with the payout system, in all fairness, because it's not going to get any better. Like, you think about it, Apex has seen the most growth in like the last year, right? When you go look at Nutty's videos and you look at what payouts looked like a year ago, 6 months ago, like everything is growing astronomically, like real fast. And if you continue in this hyper growth cycle, you're going to continue to attract more traders. You know, as you have more influencers who are discovering that a trailing drawdown is not that bad, and you know, things like that. Because the one thing that I think keeps some people from trading with Apex is the trail and drawdown. And I don't think the trail and drawdown is a problem. And I actually watched a video from Trades by Matt the other day where he was talking about how he wasn't really a fan of the trail and drawdown at first. He said, but then when I thought about it, he said, think about it like this. If I'm up $800 in a trade and I close out at $400 in profit, so I've lost $400 in profit, you know, by waiting it out. He said, at first I thought about it as, you know, I still won $400. So why are you punishing me for not getting out at 800? He said, but the trail and drawdown, he actually likes, and it helps him to hit base hits now, because now his thought process is not, you know, I still made $400. Now his thought process is, I basically kind of lost $400, right? Because I should have closed out at 800 versus 400. And when you talk about that over the course of 10 accounts, now you're talking about $4,000, 20 accounts, that's $8,000 in that one trade that you made less money on because you wanted to sit here and wait it out. But I think because so many people have such a bad opinion about trail and drawdown, that's what keeps other people from coming to Apex, right? But once people start to see more people, you know, getting the bigger payouts, and the payouts just consistently continuing to grow month by month or quarter by quarter, you know, you're going to continue to attract more and more traders, especially with this whole Forex, you know, prop thing going down. So many people are switching to futures, and a lot of people, I will say this, almost every single video I've watched of people saying they're switching from Forex to futures and they're talking about prop firms, every single one chooses Top Step. And I feel like it's because that's where they're initially drawn, because Top Step has the end of day drawdown. Most Forex prop firms, if not all Forex prop firms, have an end of day drawdown. So they just go to what's familiar, right? But when they start learning about the power of having 20 accounts, the leverage of that and things like that, they're going to attract so many people. And if you don't get a handle on how you're processing payments now, it's going to be a nightmare. And you have to prepare for some of these things like ahead of time. That's what you do in business. So you got to prepare for that stuff now. You're already growing extremely fast. And I'm pretty sure that part of like the huge payouts and stuff for March is because of that 90%, the last 90% sale with the 1 day pass attached to it. Man, they got a lot of business from that, right? So what do? You got to change something. You have to. I'm pretty sure that the system is automatic when it comes to like flagging accounts that violate the 30% rule, or even possibly violating if they see like a trade in the log that's close to a news time or something like that. I don't know. I know for sure, though, I can tell that it's something with that 30% rule because it always flags for a manual review. But something else has to be automated in this process. Oh, absolutely, Trenches. Anybody who does any kind of intraday swing strategy, if you're not scalping, the trail and drawdown can be absolute trash. I 100% agree. 100% agree. Whether you are intraday swinging for just like 10-20 minutes, depending on what instrument you're trading, or even if it's for a couple hours, absolutely, it's not the greatest at all. At all. The only thing I think of is like, it made me, when I heard Trades by Matt say that, it made me think about like when I was intraday swinging. Like I showed you guys some of the trades that I had that popped up in my news feed from, I feel like it said 2 years ago, when I showed the Dow and the ES trade or whatever. And even looking at that, right, with the ES trade, I don't really know where I closed the trades out at, unfortunately. But did I not save it? Oh, yes, I did. I did save it. But like at the time of my ES trade, My entry was at 44.72.50. My stop loss was in profit at 44.82.50, so 10 points. But the current price was like, what, 34 points ahead of that, above that. So I was 34 points more in profit above my trailing stop. But it's like the fact that, and I'm pretty sure I moved it up at some point in this trade because I would not lose that much money. But I think intraday swinging, as long as I did, I think what made me realize that I really truly wanted to be a scalper, besides when I used to multi-day swing and it coming so close to my take profit and then just doing something else. I think it's just because, like, for me, the reality is you never know when the trend is going to stop, right? You can blow through the new highs, new lows. You can blow through a support or resistance level. You can blow through a VWAP. You can blow through all, like, you never truly know. Or do you chance it that, okay, it's going to pull back at this level, I'm still going to hold it to here? Like, you don't really know when the market is going to turn against you, right? So for me, my thought process is, if it's a 100-point move and I'm able to scalp it like 6 times for 4.5 points, I'm cool. Whatever happens after that. I've gotten 30 points almost out of 100. I don't need the whole 100. But I understand why other people would prefer to just intraday swing, whether it's based on their own strategy, ICT, this, whatever. Like, I understand it though, because who wouldn't want to just put a trade on and like, hey, we'll just let this trade ride for a little while, versus having to, y'all see how much I have to concentrate when the market is actually moving. Not this crap that's been happening for the last week, but like, I really have to concentrate because I want the precise entries. I want to get in and out, and I want to be able to scalp 15 to 20 times in 2.5 hours versus sit on my hands for 2.5 hours, get one trade, let it ride. Just, yeah. My dad's Money Max is a great scalper. I've never heard of that person. Let me go see. My dad's money. Oh, there we go. $2.4 million comeback in 13 minutes. This person? It looks like they haven't made videos in 3 years. Is this the same person you're talking about? You want to know something? If I made 2.4 million, 260,000, 150,000, 550,000, I wouldn't stream no more either. No, it looks like he wasn't really much of a streamer, but he did make videos. I wonder where he is today. But numbers like that, you're probably risking quite a bit. I made $4 million day trading in 7 months. 1.2 million in a month. 112,000 in 9 minutes. Those are insane numbers. Is he active on any other social media platforms? Y'all, this market is boo-boo. Man. I'm just not getting anything right now. He was on Chat with Traders. Is Chat with Traders one of those podcasts? Wait, what is this guy's name? My dad's money. Ah, I got you. Oh, and he scalps stocks. Very interesting. Let me see. He's on Twitter and Instagram. Let's see if he's active. But you know what? When you have that FU money, you just tend to want to disappear. And I get it. No, he's not active on social media either. No, it's gonna wreck my brain. I'm gonna want to know what happened to him. Where are you? All right, so with this, same thing as yesterday, where we're kind of in this really weird area of consolidation until we either break this zone or we're gonna have to push like to the overnight low or something, because the overall bias is a downtrend. However, my minor level is not in front of the major level to make it a downtrend. So it's like everything is super opposite right now and it's consolidating while it's opposite. So it's kind of up in the air how long it's going to consolidate like this. So really, besides, I mean, the one trade that I took earlier today, that was a risky trade. That wasn't even really valid all the way. So we won't count that. Really, the only setup that I've had is that 1 bar pullback that I didn't take, because I'm still like, with the 1 bar pullbacks, but legit just nothing, which I can't even be mad. It's not surprising, honestly. It's pretty much expected. But it's just annoying, because it's really annoying when you kind of feel like you pretty much have everything where you want it to be, but you can't put it to the test. You can't do anything because the market's literally not even giving you the opportunity to trade. That's trash. So we're gonna hope that the first week of April is not like this. Please, I beg of you. Hopefully this makes it easier for me to full port. I should be able to full port a loss. Let's see, 481. 481. 10 contracts is $48. So I just need to lose like 10 ticks on a trade. To blow this account. The only thing I don't know, I actually might, with the 50K that I'm blowing today for the renewal on Monday, I actually might start trading the account again on Monday versus waiting until the following Monday. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Because I typically like to give myself 3 weeks, but I'm kind of feeling confident enough to just be able to trade it the entire 4 weeks. We'll see. Rio, you know a lot of different traders. Christian Kalamagi. It's something about a 2-minute chart that I just love swing trading on when I was swing trading. I don't know what it is about a 2-minute chart, but it just was great to me. And then it's funny because when I was watching that podcast with Lance Bernstein, I forget his last name, but when he was talking about how scalpers have a better edge, can develop a better edge technically because they are on such a smaller time frame and they have way more trades available, or opportunities. I believe that he said that he trades on a 2-minute chart. I was like, look at that. I was going in the right direction when I was trading on a 2-minute chart. And honestly, if life didn't get in the way, I would have definitely not stopped trading at the time. How many times? Oh. Game Pass is unleashing hell with Diablo 4. Diablo is such a trash game to me. I can't. It's so comforting. I wasn't sure whether Believe the nurses I shadowed during clinical, I would pass the meds. Even though I abandoned my other channel like 6 years ago, about 6 years ago for real, I haven't been consistent in 6 years. I still get comments every single day. Alright, just curious where you got your indicator that shows at the bottoms of your candles looks like price and bar size. Where might I get that from and what is it called? Okay, I'll send that to that person. They want to know where I got the indicator that shows the double top and lower lows and lower highs and stuff. I'll shoot it to them. Because I got it from a forum, actually. I got it from a forum. Alright, maybe if we break this zone, I might be able to trade. But the last time... Let me see. Did we trade above? Oh no, we did trade above there. I was worried that we might not be able to we tried to trade above it. The problem is every time we traded above it, we came back into it. I was trying to see if we traded above the major resistance level up there. But every time we traded above it and we swung back down, we swung back into the zone and, you know, back out, back in. So let's see if we could break it. Let's see. The colors are correct now. It's just a matter of if we can break this, which we're rejecting off the VWAP. This is just such weird movement. Okay, maybe we don't want to break it. Maybe we want to actually go into the downtrend. It'll have to drop pretty significantly. For me to be able to trade it though. Like I said some minutes ago, I think it has to come down to the overnight low for my levels to crisscross back to the right direction. Hey Bobby, how are you? Okay, wait. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hello. Get it right. Get it right. Get it right. Good morning. How are you doing? I need to work out later. Hopefully I have some energy after I sleep to do it. All right, so we've dropped far enough for me to kind of be safe to take some sales. Let's see if we get a trade though. I feel like all the streams this week have just been so boring. So boring because the market doesn't want to move. Let's see if we stall here long enough, which we might not. Unless we pull back to like, what is this? What level is that? Unless we pull back to 98.75. Okay, maybe we want to. How do I want to treat that? That's a little different. All right, let's see. 719. This is a really weird place for me to trade. Because which one do I go based off of? This could be qualified as two different setups of mine, and they require different volume they have different volume requirements. I'm gonna take it as this one, and we're gonna go for the trade. We'll see what happens. So if this bar closes down, I'm getting into a sale. Like I said, it qualifies as two different setups. It met the volume requirements of one, but not the other. So we'll see which setup it actually is based on if this wins or loses. We did get a zigzag change, which is not great. But you know what? Chance it. It is what it is at this point. All right. So I know which one to qualify as now, which I had a feeling, but it's whatever. All right, how much do I have left? 387. Okay. What I actually, no, I'm not gonna do that actually. I didn't want it to qualify as the other one, but you know, what ifs, because normally when I qualify as the other one, the charts look completely different than what they look like right now. But because the market is consolidating so heavy, because typically if I have a setup, it's one setup, there's no question as far as which one it is. But this consolidation is just it's nasty. So it's kind of like the first trade that I took where I was cool with chancing it. It's whatever. These accounts have to blow anyway, so just chance it. It is what it is. Good morning, Applejacks. How are you? I know you're not enjoying these markets either. Is this going to be a trade where I get wicked out and it goes to my take profit? That would not be fun. I was hoping that even though it didn't qualify for the second setup, that the VWAP being here and the overnight high would give it enough support to just push through. Support for the trade to push through. Now, right now, it would still be in the trade. We're attempting to break this prime low right here. If this pushes through and hits my take profit, I actually might get a little irritated. No. It's all good. But what I might, let me see, 500. I'm not gonna do that. All right, well, that makes me feel a little bit better. All right, so let's see. Let's see what happens here. I needed to, now I just pulled back too far. Oh, now we have a double bottom, double top combo. So even if this pushes down in this bar, I can't take the trade. Next week is NFP. Can we get a break? I actually love NFP week. I'm opposite of everyone else. Well, no, yeah, I do like NFP week. Only thing I don't like is FOMC, and that's only because I know that Monday through Wednesday is probably going to be so slow it's going to piss me off, but I like NFP week. As long as we can get some halfway decent volume, that would be nice. Let me see. I haven't even looked at the news for next week. Let's see. Monday is high. Oh, and we have a Monday with high impact news. Next week might be lovely. I know NFP is coming, but a high impact news for a Monday is amazeballs. Okay. I love it. Let's see. So we got high impact news Monday, high impact news Tuesday, high impact news Wednesday, Thursday is 7:30 a.m. I'm only looking at 9 a.m. You know what, Applejacks? I don't know. Next week might be great. Next week might be great. You know what? Going in with lower expectations is good. I'm actually going in with low expectations too. I'm not gonna lie. Only because, like, I don't want to. This week was just so ugh. And despite the ugh, besides today, my red days were not very red. And even today, I mean, I'm still under the 250, but both of those trades I chanced because I know I'm blowing these accounts today and Thursday, so I didn't really care. But of course, starting next week when I have my fresh account coming back, I am not taking any chance trades, like, at all. The strategy is set at this point. So the only thing that, like, expectations I have going into next week is, like, as long as we have, even if we don't have the best of the best movement, like, I'm just looking forward to seeing how my strategy performs next week, whether it's low or high volatility. Just a heads up, the market will be closed tomorrow for Good Friday. Take this time to relax, recharge, and reflect. Guess what she's going to do? She's going to sleep in. Yes, she is. Because I am tired of getting up so early in the morning. Okay. What is this? What did he send me? My friend is stupid. Trentus, are you here? I have a question for you. You're going to Philly tomorrow? Oh, safe travels. For work, business, or pleasure, or a combination? Is this your first time? I've never been to Philly. I have a pretty good friend that lives in Philly, and I've always said that I was going to visit, and life. Wait, hold on. Applejacks. No. No. I wasn't expecting the conversation to twist and turn that fast. Okay, Applejacks. Why you really gonna skip trading? Why you gotta take pleasure F this trust? You in timeout. So Trenches, I have a question because I know you're from Chicago. Do you say on phone them, on bro them, and on the guys a lot? I'm asking this because one of my best friends, he says it. He don't say it a whole lot, but I tease him by saying, like, on bro them, phone them. Like, I just say stupid stuff like that because he just say it so much. And I know it's Chicago lingo. And I make some of our other friends sick. Like, they hate it. So one of them that hates when I just start speaking a whole bunch of Chicago slang, he sent me a video of this guy on TikTok. It's from Drill Legends, and it's a video called R.I.P. Lil B. I guess it's some boy who got killed by police in 2014. And he said, how many times is this dude gonna say this? And he just kept saying on bro nim and on the guys, like, the whole video. That's all he's saying. When I tell you, I piss my friends off because I only talk that way when that friend is around. When he's not around, I don't say none of that stuff. So when we all get together and we're playing 2K and stuff like that, they get so sick of me. They be like, she only talking like this because you're around. It's so bad. But that video he sent me, I was like, what is he talking about? Why is this guy saying this so many times? And then he started saying, I'm like, oh, I know exactly what he's talking about. It's hilarious. Speaking of 2K, y'all, last night I was on my friend. And so he plays point guard, and I have a shooting guard and a small forward. I think my first game I had my shooting guard, but then I switched to my small forward. Well, we came across this group of 3 because we were matching up in squads. And typically, everybody who gets matched up with us are trash. Like, I'm talking absolute trash, and it drives us insane. But our friends halfway suck too. So we sometimes you just rather play with randoms who are trash because you expect them to be trash. You don't want to play with your trash friends. You know what I mean? So anyway, we come across this group of 3 who were actually pretty freaking decent. We were mad when they ended up backing out after, like, I think we played with them 3 games. We tore people up. Y'all heard me? It was one game where, what was the freaking final? Did I send him what the final was? All I remember was, oh, I think it was this. We beat these people 110 to 24. Do y'all see this? Oh, dang. You're not going to be able to see it. But 110 to 24, y'all. It was the most hilarious crap because these people didn't even quit. I told my friend, I said, these has to be little kids who are on spring break because grown people would not stay in here for an ass whooping like this. They just won't. They just won't. I wouldn't. But we told them people up. It was so bad. They literally scored 4 points in the first quarter, 3 points in the second quarter, 6 points in the third quarter, and 11 in the fourth quarter. And I think the other two games that we played with those people, we tore people up in those games too. I think we won by like 40 the other 2 games. And it was so bad that like when they ended up backing out, because we were playing like pretty late at night, my friend was like, well, we're done. We're about to go play a zombie game because we can't play with them and then go play with some trash randoms. It was so bad. On BD, oh God. Yes, Applejacks, I am a gamer. Yes. On BD, I'm telling you, on Chief, on everything, on my dead homies. I just be cracking up. And then we have other friends that are from Chicago as well. So when they all in a party, I'm like, yeah, I'm getting out of here. Y'all doing too much. Everything is on somebody and on something. And I'm tired of it. But yeah, Applejacks, I just got back into 2K this year. I hadn't played since 2K21. I'm pretty sure. And when I tell you, as soon as I loaded that game up, I had so many messages from my Xbox friends, because at the time I was appearing online. Now I appear offline because I get tired of invites and stuff. But I had so many messages from my friends like, oh my God, you back on 2K, send me an invite, what kind of player you made, come play with me. And I'm like, no. And then one thing I hate about Xbox is you could be appearing offline on the Xbox, but if they pull up that phone on 2K, they gonna see that you online. So I still get messages all the time. But yeah, I finally got back into it. At first I wasn't going to, honestly, because I didn't like the fact that I had to buy a new Xbox to play with my friends. Because I had like I initially had the Xbox One, right? And then I bought an Xbox One X from one of my friends for like $75. So that was cool, but then I didn't realize that you couldn't play certain games with your friends if they were on Series X. So I was like, man, I'm not paying for no new Xbox just to play 2K. Like, I can still play all my other games with my friends. Screw this. I'm not doing that. Da 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 da. Baby, I talk all that heavy shit. And when Black Friday came around, the savings were so astronomical. I said, guys, I'm back. And I got right back to it. I'm back like I never left. So I have a shooting guard. That's the 3 and D shooting guard. with a like 96.3. My steal is really high. My perimeter defense is really high. I get really high. Like I get a lot of Hall of Fame defensive badges, Hall of Fame and gold defensive badges. And then I also have a small forward that's 6'8", who is a hybrid defender. So my 3 on that guy is only like an 85, and I think my midi is an 87. And then I have a lot of golds and silver defensive badges. Yeah. Since 2K18. You play COD? Hold on, Applejacks. Do you play Resurgence, or you play Resurgence, multiplayer, or Warzone? Be careful how you answer this question. Which one do you play? I'm so scared to know the answer. I ain't gonna lie. Which one is it? Which one is it? Let's see. Technically, that's not a double top. That would be a higher high. The zigzag just got messed up a little bit. But if this pushes down right here and it stalls long enough, I might get into the sell. Oh wait, it's now stalled long enough, so let's just see what happens. Actually, I don't want to do that. I'm only not going to get into the sell because both of these are good. This bar and the entry bar will rotate over this, and I don't want to do that, so we're not going to do it. Multiplayer. Applejacks, we were almost friends. You were almost there. When you merch, people know I'm telling the truth because I don't merch as much. Yes, merch it. Chicago people are the only people I ever hear say merch. You play the campaign too? So I used to be a person who loved playing the campaign, but I think Call of Duty 4. So I've been playing Call of Duty since Call of Duty 4, which was like 2009, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that was the only one that I actually completed on veteran mode. And once I really started getting super heavy into multiplayer, because I was in a hardcore search clan. Before I met them though, I actually was in a clan that played hardcore team deathmatch. And then I was in a hardcore search clan, and then some of those people, a lot of people that I still play with to this day, I've been playing with for a very long time. So my best friend that games, I've been playing with him since I was like 20, and I'm about to be 34. So almost 14 years. I have another couple of friends, like my longest standing friend, I've actually been playing with him since I was 19 years old when I first got on Xbox. Yeah. So it's been 15 years now with us. He's silly. But yeah, I kind of got out of multiplayer when Call of Duty Ghosts came out. I always tell people that is when Call of Duty just sucked to me. And it's really only, I don't know how I feel about this buy. I was cool with not taking the sale. I don't know how I feel about the buy though. I think I feel okay about the buy. Maybe no. It just invalidated itself just now, actually. But anyway, when Call of Duty Ghosts came out, they didn't have hardcore search and destroy initially. They had hardcore search and rescue, which was the combination between search and destroy and kill confirmed. And it was like, so who told y'all to do this? Because the whole purpose of us getting on hardcore search or search period is because when somebody dies, they can't come back to the next round. But now you've put kill confirmed in here to where if they slide into that tag, now the person comes back. We didn't ask for that. And it took them a little minute to put the regular hardcore search back. And so I was turned off from multiplayer from there. And then when they started adding the robots and the jet packs and running on walls, and I said, oh yeah, because as a gamer who prefers like shooting games, I used to have so many games in rotation, whether it was, single player game. Like, I've been a gamer since I was a child. Like, I've had almost every single game system except GameCube and Nintendo 64. Starting from Nintendo, I've had almost every handheld game system up until, I was in my late teens. Whatever came out after that, I didn't care to have anymore. I wasn't a handheld gamer. But yeah, so it was like back in the day, every shooting game had its own thing, right? So Call of Duty had its own feel, Gears of War had its own feel, Battlefield had its own feel to it, Halo had its own feel to it, so you played that shooting game based off of whatever feel that you wanted at the time. So when Call of Duty decided to start taking certain aspects from other games and putting it into Call of Duty, it's like, well, now you kind of lost me, because I stopped playing Halo because I was sick of jetpacks. Now you just put jetpacks in this game that I came to get away from that. No longer interested. I don't like it. I don't have brothers. That's why you don't play search, because you want to be brought back. That's why I don't play Warzone, because I can't stand all that sitting around and then you running into a circle, somebody sitting on this 75-story building that snipes you, and now you dead, and now you have to wait for your teammates to bring you back because you already been in the gulag. I ain't got time for that. Put me on Resurgence, let me die and come back, come kill you. You can come back and try to kill me, but I'm probably gonna kill you again. It's okay. Just take the loss, take the L, and keep it moving. Resurgence, I play crazy, but as soon as that circle start getting too small, or the gulag is closed, or the respawn is closed, then I start playing smart. But I don't have any brothers. It's just me and my sister. My cousin, he is the only boy out of us 5 grandkids. He's the youngest as well. His kids are the ones who I was watching 2-3 days a week for the last like 4 months, but they started daycare last week. And they actually, I talked to my niece like 3 days ago. And her mom said that she asked her, would you rather be in daycare or would you rather be at TT Amber's house? She said TT Amber's house. And when I asked her, do you like your new teacher? She said, no, I want you to come pick me up. I said, oh Lord, girl, go make some friends, because we ain't doing this. We're not doing this. But yeah, so basically when we were growing up, he had the Nintendo 64 and he had the GameCube, and that's why we didn't have it. We had all the other game systems. But my parents were actually gamers a little bit. Like, I remember when I was super young, like I had to been probably like 5 or so. I remember that they used to play, we had this game on the Nintendo. It was like this baseball game. And when you look at the graphics of these older games, oh my goodness. Like, I had the PC, NBA Live. Like, I had all kinds of stuff, y'all. I used to have little joysticks so that you could play it. And I just remember they used to play that against each other all the time. And my mom was the type where, like, she don't like losing. So if she lose, just know y'all gonna keep playing. It don't matter if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, baby, you gonna keep playing, okay? Until she wins. That's my mom. But one of the games that I used to love growing up, and this is gonna sound so crazy, it was on Sega. It's the Sonic Dr. Bean Mean Green Machine, I think it's what it's called. I still love that game to this day. I handed out ass whoopings on that game. I still will to this day. I loved that game. But yeah, they were gamers. Now, I'm gonna call him sperm donor, because we don't call him dad no more, okay? He ain't even a parent no more, but I just be nice nowadays because I'm over that part of my life. But he still was a gamer until his older age. Like, I'm pretty sure he has a PS5 and everything like that. But my mom, she stopped gaming though. Occasionally she'll want to play against me in like are you smarter than a 5th grader type of game, stuff like that. But she ain't into gaming. My sister actually did not like gaming at first. She would play like The Sims on computer. Sometimes she would, like, I was a computer junkie when it came to games when I was younger. And I used to save up my birthday money, save up Christmas money, and pay for my own, computer games and stuff. Loved Roller Coaster Tycoon. Vegas Tycoon, Restaurant Empire is one of my favoriteest games, and I found a way to get it onto my computer now to play. And then The Sims. I had like probably the first 10 versions of The Sims way back in the day. But besides like those little kind of games, my sister wasn't really a gamer. I used to have to play against my little cousin, especially when it came to like football games and stuff. What was that one game? It was a football game. It was the ESPN 2K football game, if I'm not mistaken. I used to tear him up with the Patriots. Ooh, he used to hate me because he would be like, "You only winning because you're running the same play." Well, if I'm running the same play, you should figure out how to defend it, don't you think? Man, listen, I would run the same play where I would have 4 wide receivers and both receivers on each side would cross each other. And so the 2 on the outside would end up crossing and end up in the middle, and the 2 on the inside would end up crossing and going to the outside. I used to tear his ass up with that same play every time. He hated it. And then he used to have on, I think it was on the GameCube, or maybe it was the original Xbox, I can't remember. But they used to have the NFL Blitz, I think is what it was called. So I remember I used to always play with the Jaguars. I don't know why I did. I wasn't even really into like football anymore by that time. I liked football when I was way younger. But he used to always, I'm gonna play with I think it was the Steelers. I'm gonna just run the ball with Jerome Bettis. I used to tear his ass up in that game too. He hated me. He hated me, okay? My parents were cute. I only got one parent now. But he hated me. Then I used to beat him all the time on MLB Slugfest. Oh my god, Slugfest was one of the best like baseball games to me. Pitcher hit you with the ball, you go to the mound, whoop his ass. Yes. Yes, because I should be able to do that. He hit me with the ball at 90 miles per hour. I used to whoop his ass on that game too. He was so mad, but it taught him character. It taught him to get better. Oh man, I don't think I ever had any of the backyard sports games. I don't think. I'm not sure. I know one of my favorite games on the Dreamcast was Ready to Rumble. And I used to always play with Afro Thunder, I think was his name. I think that was his name. That was one of my favorites. I also had a WWE or WWF game that I absolutely loved as well. I was really heavy into wrestling when I was a kid. And then one day, my male parent took us to a wrestling match. And we came home and my mom asked me and my sister how it went. And we told her to suck it. Did the whole arm thing and everything. And she wasn't happy and we never were able to go back again. I was such a tomboy growing up. Give me my video games. I play my sports. Got the academic stuff together. I'm good. I was not a girly girl at all. Like so much so that I told you. So the boy grandchild is, I consider him like my brother. That's why his kids call me TT. So I was such a tomboy that he used to cry because he didn't understand why. Like, I gave him great hand-me-downs, okay? He got some great clothes. All the stuff that was in back then, like the Echo and the Sean John and all. Listen, he got some good hand-me-downs. But he used to cry because he was like, why are they shopping in the boys section? They're girls. And I'm like, bro, what is wrong with you? But that was my little brother. He still is like my little brother to this day. Listen, he hated it. But then when we started wearing like leggings and stuff like that, then that was a problem. Like we couldn't please him. Now it's, why is your stuff so tight? You should wear a jacket to cover that up. Like, he thinks he's my dad. That's what he thinks. That's what he thinks. But that's what brothers are like. And sometimes I have to remember to remind him, hey, I'm the oldest here. Calm down. But life. Life. I'm just glad that we're still so tight, like us three. I'm just glad that we're still like that to this day. And that's one of the reasons why I'm ready to have kids. Well, other than I'm just getting older, but like I went for my kids and my sister's kids. My sister doesn't have children either. Only my little cousin. Well, one of the other grandkids does, but I don't count her. I mean, out of us three, the youngest is the only one with kids. He has 3. So I'm like, dang, it would be kind of nice if me or my sister starts having kids, because now your youngest is about to be 3. And I would like for our kids to all grow up the way that we did, but then I just started thinking about how I had no time to myself when I had them kids 2 or 3 days a week. I don't know about children right now. Oh yeah, that's for real, my brother, baby. Let me tell you something. I don't play about him and he don't play about me. Funny story, since it looks like I'm still not gonna be able to trade, I'll tell you a funny story with him. So his 21st birthday, right? His mom gets him a VIP booth at this little, I guess you could call, it's not really a club, it's kind of like a lounge, but people kind of treat it like a club, whatever. Real nice area kind of thing. All right, cool. So he has this one friend who has money, okay? He bought cases of champagne, people just taking bottles and they taking it to the head. Me, I'm there for supervision, okay? I'm big sister. I don't really drink like that anyway, but I'm definitely not finna drink when I need to protect you, okay? So the way that the little place was, it was like, they had like an inside area and then they had an outside area with like patio furniture, and he had a section outside. So at one point, he was so lit. First of all, almost everybody inside and outside was there for him. Like, no lie. Excuse me. So it was so many people there that I could like, all right, I know this person, so I know that they're going to keep up with him if he go inside kind of thing. He was so lit. We had to take one of those buttons that flash lights. We had to put it inside of his white shirt so that we knew where he was at all times, right? So it started raining at one point. So, some people ended up leaving or whatever. And he walked one of his friends out. And because the place was closing in like 15 minutes, they were like, yo, we can't let you back in. My mama paid this amount of money for VI. It's my birthday. Y'all gonna let me back in? So they come in, they like, yo, go talk to him. I'm like, Jesus, what is it? So I'm like, bro, they're closing in 15 minutes. I don't care. My mama paid for me to be here the whole time. They gonna let me back in? I said, bruh, we're leaving. It closes in 15 minutes. He's like so dead set on going back into this place. It was lit. I ain't gonna lie. So his friend drives up in a truck and was like, well, he's going back to the room. We'll take him. I knew this friend. He played basketball with this friend from like childhood. So I knew this person. I felt comfortable sending him with this friend. Okay. So he trying to push back into the club. So I take him and I throw him. I throw him into the truck, y'all. He falls into the truck sideways and looks up and said, damn, Amber, you strong? To this day, we crack up about it. So the next day, like later on that night, he calls me. He's like, who let me get in this truck? I said, well, I knew the people. They said that y'all had a room and they was taking you to the room. I wasn't supposed to be in that truck. You let some stranger. I'm like, bruh, first of all, that's not a stranger. Stop playing with me. He said, and did you push me at some point last night? I was like, yeah. And his friend caught everything on camera. When I tell y'all, it was the funniest thing ever. He was like, I don't know if it was because I was drunk or what, but you was strong as hell. You pushed me into that truck. When I tell you, we had a good time. I am so hoping that we can figure out something to do this year. He turns 30 this year. So He turns 30 this year. My sister turns 32, and then I turn 34. So we're all 2 years apart. But I really hope that we could do something for his 30th, because baby, his 21st was lit. You hear me? So now we have to convince the parents to watch the kids so we can go out and do some stuff. Because it was fun. It was so fun. Then it was one time, this is a few years ago, like pre-COVID. Hey Trey Cage, what's up? I was just telling the story about my cousin's lit 21st. But some years ago, I forgot where we were, and him and his friend, it was me, my sister, her boyfriend was with us, my cousin, and then one of his friends, I feel like. So I forgot what we were doing initially, but they were like, oh, let's go to the strip club. Now, I had only been to a strip club one time before. It was when I was living in Dallas, and I was not impressed. And it's just nothing for me. Like, I don't like women. I can think that a woman is beautiful, but I don't look at her in that kind of way. And I don't want to see body parts. Like, I see my own, that's enough. Don't need to see anyone else's. But my friend asked me to go for Christmas, so I did. But anyway, so they want to go to the strip club. I'm like, bro, I don't want to go there. They like, but the food is good. All right, cool, let's go. So his friend was like, well, I got one that I can get us in for free. Because his friend he's all over the place. He knows everybody. So I'm like, all right, cool. Because I'm not paying to get into a strip club. I already don't want to see this stuff. I'm definitely not paying to see it. You know what I'm saying? So as my cousin is driving, I asked my cousin, I said, you been to a strip club before? Nah, this is going to be my first time. I said, you been to a strip club? He said, all right, yeah. I said, well, you been to this one? He's talking about, no, I ain't never been to this one. Well, I noticed that he didn't have his GPS on. And the friend we were following was so far ahead you couldn't see him. But my cousin didn't use a GPS. So I'm like, okay, so I'm already clocking the lie, right? Yo, we walk into this strip club. Everybody is greeting him. Yo, what up? We ain't seen you. I said, wait a second. You lied to me. So he like, so you ain't gonna throw no money? No. Listen, I'm very smart with my money. I save my money. I'm not throwing my money at these people. I don't even want to be here. I'm here for the food. So he was like, well, if I give you some money, will you throw it? I said, bro, if you give me some money, it's going in my pocket. It's just like when my mother, your mother, or our grandma give me money. If I go to the casino with y'all, I'm going to play $5 of it and the rest is going in my pocket. I can't lose it. So he doesn't end up giving me money because I promise you I would have pocketed it. And I told him, so he gives my sister money. She throwing it. She doing all this other stuff. I'm like, bro, so I go to the bar, order these Philly cheesesteak rolls. They were so bomb. Ooh, they were so good. And one of the strippers tries to come up. I'm like, bro, I'm not here for that. So then this guy sits next to me. He talks my ear off the whole time. They enjoyed themselves, and I'm just like, can we please leave? Like, why are we here? Why? And that was the night that I realized that my cousin, this was pre-kids too, y'all. That was when I realized my cousin be out here in these streets. Not my little baby. He be out here. One of the little strippers, like, as soon as she saw him, she was like, I'm on at such and such time. So when that time came and they called her name, he was like, yo, I gotta go up to the stage. I said, what? Yeah. Certain things I cannot do with my little cousin or my little sister, because even though we're only 2 and 4 years apart, they're still 4 years old to me. Certain stuff I just cannot see them do. They're my little babies. But yeah, my cousin was a liar, baby. A liar. You never order food at a strip club, only lap dances? Listen, Cage, you don't know what you're missing. Strip club food is good. Them kids young and close in age. Oh yeah, they out you, okay? And see, when I was growing up, because I was the oldest, I didn't get to do anything. Like nothing. The only thing that I was able to do, I never wanted to go to prom, and I thought that my male parent would support me in my decision to not go. It was my mom. I felt like that was trying to force me to go. So I'm like, I know he'll tell her I don't gotta go. He was like, oh no, you're going to prom. I said, huh? What? Why? Why do I gotta go? I was so mad. And then after prom, I came home early and he was like, so you don't got nothing to do? I said, nope. He said, well, you can't come in the house before such and such time, so you better change your clothes and figure out a party to go to. I said, what? What is this? So because I wasn't really able to do much, I was always told no. That just kind of transformed into my personality, I guess you could say. Like, I just don't really like doing much for real. But they were able to do everything. So for them, they was out in these streets, okay? They was partying. The one thing that I've always loved with them though is that they have really good discernment. They don't ever go to like parties and stuff in places that they shouldn't be in. They don't do drugs. They don't, like, it ain't none of that, you know, and they'll never allow themselves to get super drunk and not know what they're doing. Like, so I've never had to worry about those parts. However, I didn't expect my little babies to be like this. Like my sister, baby, my sister is the life of the party. Both of them actually are lives of the party. Like, you want them at your party. Me, I'm just sitting there, people watching, like, that person moved too quick. What you got going on over there? Like, I don't like crowds, so it's just not my thing at all. And I've just adopted that personality. 1178. I was gonna try to take this sale, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna invalidate itself. So this session really freaking sucked because both trades that I took, I didn't even need to really be in. We were just chancing it for the sake of. But basically, I really only had that one setup, that one bar pullback. One trade in a session is insane for a scalper. Insane. Anyone in the Russell? I do want to see what the Russell looks like though. Hold on. Hold, please. Let me see. I always said that if I ever decide to trade another instrument, it would probably be the Russell. Let me pull up a Renko chart. Oh wait, I'm on the wrong contract. Hold up. Hold, please. The Russell is typically pretty nice. Did I say 9 or... oh no. Yeah, the Russell would be the only other thing that I would be willing to trade because it's so smooth. But the only problem that I did notice on the Russell though is that I would get a lot of trades where it I won't get filled. Unfortunately. That would be my only issue. I think I use this same setting for the Dow. Let's look at the Dow. But all of the indices besides the ES, we don't talk about her. But all of them are pretty smooth on Renko's. And that's also another reason why I want to make sure my strategy has like clear, concise rules, because once I know that it's completely finalized, what I do want to do is go and look at it with other instruments. That way, if I ever decide to teach, I can say like, hey, you can use this strategy on all of the indices. This is what you want to look for. That's what I want to be able to do. So we'll see. I know though, like on a Dow and a Russell, it would be more of like a 13 tick stop loss for a 13 tick take profit versus 18 and 18 like what I'm doing right now. The ES, let's see what the ES looks like. God dang it. Let's see. Oh my god, y'all, how do people trade this stuff? Let me look at it on an 8 tick chart instead of a 10. That helped a little bit. I want to scroll back though. Yeah, the market doesn't move enough for me on ES. Not even the slightest. It's so ugly. I don't even know how I used to trade it. I think because when I first started learning futures and stuff, they always tell you to start with the ES because it's slower. But yeah, we don't like her. We don't like her. Yeah, I used to, like I said, I used to trade all of them. I used to trade all of them. What am I looking at? I used to trade all of the indices. 513. If we actually push down in this candle, I am going to take the sell. Got 5 minutes. Let's see if it rejects off of the VWAP here. Yeah, let's see what happens. Please reject. But anyway, yeah, I used to trade the Dow, the Russell, ES. I didn't trade the Nasdaq at the time. At some point I did add it, and then I traded crude oil and gold. And then years ago, when I was more like, I think, did I used to swing or scalp? I feel like I scalped the bonds. I traded ZN, ZB, UB, and TN. I've been all around the world, Truth Seeker. I've been all around the world. And it's just, I don't know, it's just something about the NASDAQ. And I think also the other reason why I don't look at other instruments right now, of course, because I'm finalizing my strategy. And also because for me, if the NASDAQ can give me enough trades in a session, of course, not including weeks like this where we kind of knew the volume and volatility would be pretty low with there being a holiday on Friday. But taking like those things away, if I can get enough opportunities, I don't even care about having more opportunities by having another instrument, honestly. I just want to make sure I have enough opportunities on like an average day, you know? Because that way you can work out of a losing day, you know, just different things like that. Or if the market is great today, you can make a lot of money. If the market is mediocre with lower volatility the next day, it's cool because now, you know, your average between the 2 days is pretty high. You're good. So it's just like days like today where it's like, dang, if I was looking at 4 different instruments right now, I know I would have had more trades and then I probably wouldn't even chance the other 2, but it's just like YOLO, whatever. We're getting rid of these accounts anyway, but I would have been able to take more trades if I was looking at more instruments. But then at the same time, I feel like if NASDAQ ain't really moving, why do I want to look at something else? If the one with the highest volatility is not moving, why I want to watch paint dry on the other ones, you know? That's my thought process. And then remember, what was that, 2 week, 3? No, this is the 3rd week. So about 3-4 weeks ago, that's when I was trying out the 12-in-1 chart, right? And it was cool until the market got super volatile that Friday, and I was like, yeah, I can't. Well, a 12-in-1 chart would have probably worked perfect this week because the volatility is so low. However, I don't want to change my Renko settings around based on volatility. That's why I chose the 16-in-1 to kind of be that perfect happy medium. Because I know a 20 chart wouldn't have got me nowhere this week. I know that for sure. I really thought we were going to be able to push down and reject off this VWAP. I was so looking forward to that sale and it never happens. All right, so we got a minute left. This is not going to do what I wanted to do in a minute. So We got 30 seconds. Oh yeah, we're continuing to push up. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys the accounts because I'm gonna go ahead and fail the one. And it should work this time because I can put 10 contracts on instead of 4. But yeah, recap of the day. Whatever. Both trades were chances. So we're good there. And I also learned that if I have 2 setups happening at the same exact time, basically it was a regular pullback at my minor and major level at the same time. So anytime that happens, I need to treat it like it's a pullback to the major level. So it validated everything on the minor level rules, but not the major level rules. So major overrules from here on out, which I kind of already knew, but yeah. So this is where the accounts are. Number 17 is the one I'm about to fail now, since it renews Monday. And then number 22, I just really want it to last till Thursday. I'm going to purposely fail that one Thursday for the renewal Friday, but I'll have a 25K account that I can trade next week as well. So that's that. I'm going to go purposely fail this account. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. You like to have them on standby. I feel you. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream, even though there was practically no trading because this week sucked, and I apologize. But yeah, and I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of your day. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for the support. Please like the video on your way out. Subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I'll see you guys bright and early Monday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Enjoy your weekend and the rest of your day as well. Bye, guys.